Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Yeah, good response time. So we read some great portions today and seen some too. Let's give another thanks to the kids. Yeah. So in Leviticus, we heard of bringing a burnt offering from the herd, a lamb without blemish. And if we do that, the person who brings it will be accepted by Adonai. Well, you know who else was accepted by Adonai? Let's take a look at Matthew chapter 3, verse 16 through 17. As soon as Yeshua was baptized, he went up out of the water. At that moment, heaven was opened, and he saw the Spirit of Adonai descending like a dove and alighting on him. And a voice from heaven said, "This is my Son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased." Does that seem like acceptance? I think that seems like an awful like acceptance to me. But if that wasn't enough, let's look at John 1, verse 29. The next day, John saw Yeshua coming towards him and said, "Behold, the Lamb of God, who takes away the sin of the world." You see the lamb connection? You see, Yeshua is our Passover lamb. In Exodus chapter 12, verse 1 through 3, we see that this is to be made the first month of the year, which is Nisan. Each family is to make a sacrifice of an unblemished lamb. Thankfully, our families can rest assured, Yeshua is all of our Passover lambs. For in 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 6 through 8, it says, "Your boasting is not good. Don't you know that a little yeast leavens the whole batch of dough? Get rid of the old dough so that you may be a new unleavened batch, as you really are. For Yeshua, our Passover lamb, has been sacrificed. Therefore, let us keep the festival with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth." This verse literally says he's the Passover lamb. This verse doesn't only just secure Yeshua as our Passover lamb, but reminds us to keep the celebration of Passover with unleavened bread. We can clearly see the symbolism. Our sin is the leaven, all of our malice and wrongdoings. To be unleavened bread is to be pure and have the truth of Yeshua within us. Another thing you can think about is we get rid of the leavened bread in our house and munch on matzah. There's one last point I want to add. Hebrews 7, verses 11 through 17 is a good reading for understanding the background of the Melchizedek. In Psalm 110, verse 4, the Lord declares Yeshua is a priest forever under the order of Melchizedek. Under this priesthood, unlike the Levitical priesthood, there's no regulation or sacrifice. Why? Yeshua has sacrificed himself to be under the priesthood under him. To be so close to Yeshua with merely obeying, an openness and love for us people who didn't nearly deserve it. Yeshua is not only our sacrifice for Passover, but any other sacrifice we would have had to give. So I close and I remind you, not just to think of the sacrifice of Yeshua during Passover, but every day.
Amen. Do you want to close us out?